Hi, welcome to Wonder Woman Wednesday. I am Jared, and today I am talking about New 52 Wonder Woman. Now, this is going to be a short, prelude, if you will, to a future episode of Super Wonder Legacy that Britt and I are going to do. I just figured I would do a little bit of an introductory thing here on the New 52 Wonder Woman, which is still very controversial among Wonder Woman fans. So I figured I would weigh in on this. Now, as you guys know, I am a New 52 fan of the Initiative. It's the Initiative that got me into comics. Now, there are some things that I don't think were done that well, this being one of them. So let me explain. All right. So in 2011, we did Flashpoint. And in Flashpoint, it was the idea that, Baryon had gone back in time and then screwed up the timeline. And then when he came back, the world was different, i.e. a lot of the heroes were younger and such. So the origins were changed. So we get to Wonder Woman. And the first part I want to talk about with Wonder Woman is the Amazons. And here's the thing about the Amazons. So what Azzarello did, now to his credit, he made the Amazons more mythologically accurate. What do I mean by that? I mean that the mythological Amazons of the time, the way they would reproduce is that they would sleep with men, and then if the child was a girl, she would be adopted into the Amazonian society. If she were a man, she would either be put on an island or killed. So that is mythologically accurate. I'll give him credit on that. However, here's where the problem falls in. While that may have been mythologically accurate to the Amazons in the past, in Greek mythology, this is one of those occasions where you can't go mythologically accurate. Because yes, Wonder Woman is mythology, but the problem is the perception that people have of the Amazons that have been in with the Amazons literally, and I would argue in every iteration, was that they're beings of peace. And the Azzarello origin just doesn't really work like that. I mean, hell, there was a storyline where the New 52 Donna Troy shows up and gets the Amazons to go to the island of the male Amazons and just kill them. And I'm like, no, not into that. Number two is the Zeus origin. Now with this is another thing. This is the one thing I can go back and forth on depending on the story. I've said this in the show many times. But the Zeus origin is, previously in post-crisis, Wonder Woman's origin is that Hippolyta made her out of clay. And the gods infused strength into her and she became like a human being, if you will. In this, it was, no, she was the product of an affair of Zeus. Now, here's the thing. I get what they were going for as well, because that's typically the Greek hero origin, of Perseus and all that stuff, or Hercules. Again, now here's the thing. With Wonder Woman, making her origin again so tied to a man and what she's supposed to represent, that doesn't work that well. And that is why. But let me be clear. This is the one where I'm depending on the story, I could go either way. Because there have been good stories that have used the Zeus origin and made it work. And there have been good stories that use the clay origin. So this is one where I vacillate. Now I want to compare Azzarello to other writers. Because while Azzarello may not have been the best Wonder Woman writer, I got to be honest, his run was fine as an Elseworlds separate book. In terms of the Finches, I'm not the biggest fan of their stuff. I enjoyed the art and some of the elements. Some, not all. I would say the best writer that handled Wonder Woman at one point, not necessarily on her own book, but on a team-up book, was Charles Soule, because he had her grappling with her place in the world and her dual identity and stuff. And that's something that Wonder Woman has struggled with in the past. So I really feel like he did the best of the ones that handled this Wonder Woman. The Finches did okay. Let me put it this way. Of the rankings of New 52 Wonder Woman writers, I would go with Soule, Finch, Azzarello. Again, Azzarello's not horrible. It's just I take his run as a complete Elseworld story. That's why I have the omnibus right up there, but I really take it as just an Elseworlds Wonder Woman story, because that's a way that you can do that and like have it actually, I don't know why the light was on, and have it actually be like and actually enjoy it, if you will. So, and now I want to give my final thoughts. My final thoughts on this is I'm like, yes, this is one of the most controversial like versions of the character. Some rightly so, some not rightly so. I got to be honest, but in most of the points that I've seen about the Amazons and the Zeus origin, I can see why people would be upset. And honestly, I kind of like, I get it. I'm not as like violently like, no, this cannot happen ever again, or like New 52 ruined Wonder Woman. It didn't, but I'm like, yeah, and it's I'm just like, it's not necessarily all bad, but there is some bad in here. That's really my thing. And if I had to rate this iteration of the character, if I'm going off of the Azzarello, I give it like a 7. If I'm going off of the Finches, an 8. An 8, 7.5, and Soule gets a 9 out of 10. I really dug that. So that's where I'm going to leave it. Let me know your thoughts on New 52 Wonder Woman, and even how does she rank with Absolute Wonder Woman? And I may do that as a future video. Stand by on that. But yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to call it there. So consider becoming a member, because if you become a member, you get access to these a day early, which is really fun. And you get access to my members only content. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, stay at work, everyone. Remember, Steve Trevor, Steve never, he belongs 6 feet in the ground. See you later. Bye-bye.